Okay, now we're going to look at a bunch of summary statistics and how we can find them. And I'm going to start with B here, the mode or the modal class, and that means which one happens most often. Well, the modal class is referring to the bins. And if I look at these bins, it's quite clear that this bin here is the modal class. It has the most amount. And so the modal class is, what was it? It is 550 to 600 is the modal class. The mode, well, the mode, there's two of them. 560 has 4 560s, or 750, there's 4 750s. So it would be 560 and 750. But in this case, I think this is the most helpful bit of information, the modal class. Okay, that's the mode. The 5-number summary, the range, the IQR. Well, let's do the 5-number summary. And the 5-number summary deals with the minimum, quartile 1, the median, quartile 3, and the maximum. Well, the minimum and the maximum, easy. 310 to 760. Okay. The median is the middle number, and I could just start going taken away, but that would take a really long time. I'm smarter than that, and I can do it more efficiently. I know I have 45 numbers, and what the process I'm going to do is I know I have 45 numbers. I'm going to add 1 and divide by 2, which gives me 46 divided by 2 is 23, which tells me the 23rd number is the middle number. So I could count 23 from here or 23 here, and so here, this number here is the middle number. The median is 550. If I had, let's say, an even number, let's say there were going to be 90, or no, let's make a smaller number that I can divide. If I was going to, let's say there's 24 numbers, then I would add 1 and divide by 2, which would be 25 divided by 2, which would be 12.5. That would mean I would look at number 12 and the 13th position and average the two together to get the median. If I get this decimal, a half, then I average two numbers, which happens when you have an even number of ends. But that process, adding 1 divided by 2, is a quick, easy way to find the middle value. Okay, so to find the quartile 1, because I have an odd n, I'm going to take the actual median value of position 23 and divide it by 2, which is 11.5. That means I'm looking for the 11.5 position here, which is between 11 and 12, which means I add them up and divide by 2. So if I add these two together, I get 880. So 430 plus 450 is 880 divided by 2, which gives me 440, which is quartile 1. If I want to do quartile 3, well, I take this value of 11.5 and I add it on to the value from 24. So 24 plus 11.5 is 35.5 that you can see here. Well, 35.5 means these two values here. I want the average of those two. Well, clearly that's going to be 680. And that is my quartile 1 and quartile 3. This is the middle of the top half. This is the middle of the bottom half. So there's my 5-number summary. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do the range. And when I have the 5-number summary, it's quite easy to do the range. The range is simply I take the maximum, subtract the minimum, and so it's going to be 760 minus 310, So 760 minus 310 is 450. The range is 450. That is the range. The IQR, the interquartile range, is similar in this sense, but what I do for that is I take Q3 minus Q1, which is simply 680 minus 440. So 680 minus 440, which gives me 240. 240 is the IQR. And that is these ones taken care of. The next thing for the mean, what I'm going to do for that is I'm going to add 310 plus 330 plus 350. So 310 plus 330 plus 350, and so on and so forth. Add them all up, and then divide that value by 45. But there is an easier way to do it. And this will also help me with the standard deviation as well. If I take my calculator and if I go to statistics, I hit the stat button, and then I'm going to edit number 1, enter. And I'm going to see L1 here. And if you have things on there, you go on top of L1 and you hit clear and enter. And then you add all your values in. Whether I add them here, if I go 310 plus 330 plus 350, I still have to type them into my calculator. Once I have them all in there, and I've put them in there already, then what I do is I go to my stat button, and then I want to calculate. So I toggle to the right, calculate, and I'm going to do one variable statistics. My list is L1, which is second number 1. My frequency list I want to be blank, so delete it if it has something, and then I'm going to hit calculate. And it does all my calculation. This symbol here with the X bar, that is the mean. X bar is the mean, and it's 550.9. Or the 3 significant figures, we have it 551. And the standard deviation, that one could either be S or sigma. That's little sigma. For our purposes, we are going to use sigma x, the standard deviation, 133. And so now you have the standard deviation, and x bar. Standard deviation is how spread out the numbers are, and that's how we can calculate all these statistics.